broadcasting to you from Burgess Hill in the UK. And with me is my co-host, Cezarina Trone, in Cincinnati, Ohio. Hello there, Hello there, Cezarina.
Hi. Hi, Santari. It's great to be back.
Yay! It's 6 o'clock your time,
6
and
a.m. my time. Yeah.
we
I'm
can't
up
see
with
the out.
you can see the dark windows, but I'm
We
up with the
can't see the
burner.
darkness, no, but we know it's there. Well, and we have a guest with us in the virtual studio. It's 11 o'clock a.m. UK time. She lives in the UK, same as I do, and her name's Callie Carling. So welcome to the Quantum Creativity Show, Callie.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me along.
It's a pleasure. We see from your moniker down below that it's Callie Playfull Genie Carling. So there must be a story behind that. What's the origin of the name Playfull Genie?
Playful with two L's, I hope you've noticed, is because I had a realization 3 years ago that my whole life has to be about play, and therefore my role in life, one of them, is to enhance everyone's lives with some playfulness. And Jeannie is basically, if you think of the genie as being the spirit out of the bottle, well, I don't come out of a bottle, I just am. But I do believe that everyone has a little spirit, and so we're all genies in our own right. So yeah, Playful Genie was born. Not really a very exciting story, but that's just what it is.
Well, by the time we finish with it, it will be a myth.
Good.
So, on the Creativity Show, we're all about looking for how people live their lives, gain some insights into it. I see that we spoke before the show that you have the Roget's Thesaurus as your wallpaper, lining the walls just behind you.
I do indeed.
I guess this is also part of the idea of play and bringing some sort of field of magic into the world, into your life. What's your burning ambition? What's your real desire for yourself? Would it be to live life to its fullest, or do you have something even further beyond that?
Oh, that's a really good question. Before I was diagnosed with cancer, it would have been just to exist and be happy. Now it's much more than that. Now it's more to enhance other people's lives with happiness and playfulness. So I've moved more from being insular to being more dynamic and really wanting to be a shift in the world, or to help at least create a shift in the world, which we're all doing just by walking around. Our very definition of being is to be helping to create the shift.
Mm. I mean, this idea for Jeannie too, I've played with it in terms of people finding their expression of themselves, and then it just gets to be unleashed because you find a way to language it. You find a way to talk about it with other people who are on the same wavelength and who really know what you're talking about and appreciate who you're being. And so Jeannie starts to become something which takes on this feeling about this force, this power, this emanation, which really doesn't have a name of itself, but it's there because you're there, because you are being unleashed in a sense. So do you have a vision of the world which embodies this type of genie-type expression of each person's power and force and originality?
For me, I've worked very much with the goddess energies, so I'm more drawn to working with women. And my dream would be for every woman, what age, it's irrespective of age, that they're free to indulge in playfulness, and it's a very part of their core being. For me, most of my life was guided by the fact that I was a daughter and then I was a mother. And so everything that I did was wrapped up in the caring responsibilities. And so for me it was a huge thing, and it still is an ongoing battle, to move myself away from my responsibilities and to actually give rein to my playful spirit and letting my genie out. And I loved what you said about the bottle aspect of the genie, because we bottle ourselves up. Rather than box ourselves, we bottle ourselves up. And so it's really nice to be able to unpop that cork and let our spirits and run riot.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe even just to break the bottle.
Indeed. Mm-hmm.
So that there's no more need for a container as such. I think a great deal of the things that Cezarina and I do when we invite people onto the show for them to be unleashed in some sort of respect is that we share the stories and we share the creativity, and we start to feel that we're treading in water where perhaps we haven't been fully unleashed, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore it becomes more that there isn't this myth about a genie, but there is this surprising noticing that there is creativity in all different forms and aspects which become us, which we turn our attention to, and therefore we find that we are artists, we're painters, we're photographers, we're actresses, we're writers, all sorts of different roles and versions of ourselves. And it is, of course, being present to notice that not only do the people that we invite on the show, they are showing a part of themselves that we can relate to, but actually we're finding that we are also part of that storyline too. That it isn't just one person's story, it's in fact a shared story that we're participating in. So do you find that that's actually your experience of life too?
Absolutely, and part of the work that I do is also working with people to realign themselves with their stories and to recreate the stories they're in. And obviously part of the goddess work that I do is talking about her story, HER-STORY. And so many of us get caught up with life and we don't recognize where we are and how wonderful we are, how beautiful we are. And so being present and having that moment of mindfulness, as many moments as we can in each day. And I hold my hands up to it. I've done so much meditation training and I still forget, and I still have to remember to come into the breath and to focus and to remember and realign with myself and remember who I am. So it doesn't matter who we are every single day. We have to just gently remind ourselves to be present and to think of where we are in that story and just be conscious of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I noticed having a look at your website, which is www.creativity.com, and you've got an unusual spelling of creativity, which you've got just below your name there. It's creativity. Again, what's behind the innovation? What does the T represent?
When I was doing my abundance creativity coaching training, it became something of a standing joke that it was primarily an American coaching program, but we had the odd rogue, English person come on, or Australian, and it was always a standing joke that I had to get my cup of tea to be able to concentrate properly. And they were like, Callie, that's just so English. Or so British, having a cup of tea. And so really it blossomed from that. And I feel there's something very grounding and very spiritual about performing that ritual of making a cup of tea and just creating that space for yourselves. So yeah, it's a standing joke that turned into something that was quite nice. Another very English and then nice.
It sounds a little bit like the Japanese tea ceremony as well, which it isn't so much about the tea itself, but it's in the preparation and the mindfulness which is given to the ceremony so that you're focused upon what is actually taking place rather than you just making a cup of tea and then drinking it. Absolutely. And forgetting what actually is going on. So I'm guessing that this is what you're actually pointing to as well, that there's a mindfulness taking place. Let's see if we can go to your website then. I'm hoping to get screen share up. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so I'm looking at your website and it's it's talking about clarity. So perhaps you can talk to us something about clarity. Oh, your clarity coaching.
Yeah, that's just a play with words, isn't it? Yes, one of the tricks of the trade that I learned when I was doing my abundance coaching. Uh, Really, coaching as a process is about becoming more clear on what you're doing and where you're going in life. And so you come along with your cup of tea, do your mindful moments, and we create this sacred space within the coaching. I do all of my coaching online, by the way. I cannot remember the last time I did a coaching session in person. They're always done via Skype. And so the process is going through a variety of tools and techniques that I have in my little toolbox, which are called art assignments. And they're I just saw you there. And they can be very small pieces, which we work on, or they can be much, much bigger pieces. And there are a whole variety of things, and that's where I like to bring in the laughter yoga training into it. There aren't many of us around, but the laughter yoga teachers, there's plenty laughter yoga facilitators. But with the laughter yoga, it brings in a certain joyfulness and freedom of spirit. When you're actually doing laughter yoga in a group, you give yourself permission to be really silly, because you do look really silly. There's no getting around from it. You do look like an absolute fool, and that's part of the fun, because you completely release all your inhibitions. So with the clarity, I like to use a little bit of laughter to free people up in the process, and then we can really get past the ego, which obviously wants to present itself as one way, and we need to go deeper into the spirit. And do it. The best thing to do is with corporate clients, because they have to be a certain way. My partner works in banking. They have to be a certain way. So when you get them working on some abundance, art assignments, and then working with the clarity coaching and how I direct it, it's a really interesting experiment. An experience with them, because they aren't quite who they think they are or who they want to present. We do tend to knock down walls. So it's a really beautiful process, which works with the individual. I don't come to any session with any ideas. We just literally turn up, present, this is who we are in that moment, how can we work together? And it's that lovely dynamic that works with us, with each individual. It's not for everybody, but neither is any other form of intervention.
So when you get them to knock down walls, do you get them to smash bottles?
I haven't thought about that, but we could do. I need to make some sugar bottles. There's, health and safety. Ever mindful of that.
So, this sounds quite intriguing. I've never heard about art assignments before, but I'm sure that Cezarina has something to ask about the yoga, the laughter yoga, how that works.
Well, I was just going to ask you, Callie, if you wanted to do a little bit of it with us. I've been experimenting or experienced this type of laughter yoga, and it is indeed wonderful. But I wanted to, because I understand everyone has their own style or filter they add to the way they work with this. If you felt comfortable to try that for a couple minutes or with us and make our audience laugh for a little bit. You don't have to try. Your presence is enough to get us to giggle, because it's delightful. But
Thank you.
For whatever reason, if you feel like you'd like to it looks like my cat has decided to come to my lap right now. So this might be a good time to make us laugh as well.
Absolutely. Well, there's one thing that we always do in every laughter yoga session. It's very, very, very simple. And it's a fantastic exercise as well, to really get your heart and all this, everything pumping inside of you. So if I just show you how it is, and the little sequence that we do, which is one of the things, when you do the various laughter yoga sessions, you have exercises. So you're stimulating fake laughter. And this is the close. So you don't want to get people to get too hysterical, because then that's kind of devaluing what we're doing. But to actually keep it safe and to keep it sacred and to keep it as wholesome and as yogic as we'd like it to be, we do a closing statement. So it's literally ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. So if you imagine you're standing up, starting already, you literally clap up here, ho, ho, and then down towards your hips, ha, ha, ha. Come on, Santari, I can't hear you joining in either.
We got to clap and
ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Do that 3 times, and you say, very good, yay! That just changes energy and brings you back to where you need to be. Are you okay there, Santari?
I'm going to have my tea.
So would you like to try that with me? And we'll do that 3 up and down, you know, think of Saturday Night Fever. And then we'll do the very good, yay.
Okay, we'll give it a go.
Okay, so ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Very good, yay!
Very good.
I can't do it fully because I've got my slopey loft ceiling. And it's just a little bit of fun. So we also have a disco. I've got a DVD which is disco music, and you go around doing that all the way through, and that's all you do. And it's amazing how out of breath you feel, but how really energizing it is.
So there you go, Cezarina. We'll redefine yoga for you.
Yeah.
That's a tiny, tiny, tiny aspect of it. Tiny.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you'd like to mention about your website or any of the other work that you do?
Well, it's been a difficult couple of years for me. I've been suffering with depression, so I've had to learn to take care of myself and go back to self-nurture practices. And I'm feeling very disconnected from. I'm not an artist. I'm a writer, but I do love to play with mixed media and acrylics. So by the very definition, I am an artist because I create, but I wouldn't actually call myself an artist. So I really want to do some more artwork, and I've been very remiss on the creativity website because I've been going through my own process. And so although I've been working with clients, I haven't been working on any programs. So there's lots in the pipeline. I'm going to be going over the next few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks maybe, and rejigging some of the components on the creativity website because they don't really fit with where I am now and the work I'm doing with my clients. So yeah, so please do bookmark us or sign up to the newsletter and we'll stay in touch with you. But yeah, lots of joyfulness and lots of new creative ways to have fun are on there. And yeah, so I'm always up for coming along and joining anyone's party. I love to do facilitation work in retreats. And so yeah, do keep me informed of what's going on in Tuscany because I'll be going home.
It's been great having you on the show, Callie. I hope that the next time that we see you, you'll have replaced Roger's thesaurus with your own artwork. And you'll be
I do have a little bit behind me.
Gorgeous. It's gorgeous, Callie.
See if I can. This was done on a retreat, talking about the hero's journey, which I'm sure you and your listeners are very familiar with.
Wow, beautiful.
So yeah, that was just whistled up in about 20 minutes. May all that is unforgiven in you be released. May your fears yield their deepest tranquillities. May all that is unblossomed and unlived in you blossom into a future graced with love.
Wow. Beautiful.
Did you do one for the goddess's journey?
I haven't done that yet, no. This was in a specific group where I was actually a participant, not a leader,
Oh.
which was really nice.
Well, maybe that's part of the work in progress to come then.
Absolutely, I do hope so indeed. I do. Thank you so much. It's been lovely to talk with you.
It's been great having you on the show. So just once more, it's www.creativity.com, creativit.com.
And Callie, I wanted to say to you before we go that you indeed are a life artist, the soul artist, and whether you see that yet, I see that in you. I think it's gorgeous. It's been delightful to every piece and bit of your beingness. Has been so delightful today that it just tickled me all over, and it caused my cat to come jump in my lap. It caused us to laugh. It caused us to do things that we don't normally do on the radio show, on the TV show now that we turned radio show turned into TV show, and it was wonderful. And I think that's what it takes for a soul artist, for a life artist. It takes to do what you just did, what you just showed to us. So it's just been great to have you, and thank you, and looking forward to more interactions.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So until the next time, have a wonderful life.
Yes.
That's it from us.
Bye.
Bye for now.